You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Bada bing, bada bing. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers. This is my partner, Coach Easy Crime, Mike the man himself, Coy.
I'm sorry.
Don't be, Mike. I know where that's coming from, and I absolutely, positively, beyond the shadow of a doubt, loved last week's show.
Told you couldn't trust me.
I like it when I can't trust you, Mike. You got it together, man. You really do.
Apologize for so many things.
Just so you know, if you did not listen to our show last week, we are on episode 87 right now.
Yeah.
Last week was episode 86. To me, it was our best show ever, and I wasn't even on the show.
It was crazy. We all my wife's idea.
I could see it.
You know,
I see
her.
the rebellious side of her.
She doesn't put it out front, but it's there. You see that side.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah. Man, I feel for you, dog.
I know.
I mean,
what are you supposed to do, Rodney?
What are you gonna do? You know.
But you know what? Yeah. But it's in half of my conversation or half my tone is a actually sincere apology, not only just to you, but to the listeners. I took this show to an all-time low.
No. I thought it was just
some things I questioned, but I proceeded. I pushed on, and and I don't want to draw attention to it because I told my wife it's like dropping a little paper hat in a stream. It just goes downstream and moves on. You just, it's down there.
It's on the shore somewhere.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You say it's just gone.
I'll say if you find that paper hat, you need to pick it up because I'm telling you what, that was.
But one thing I do want to say, and I told my wife last week that I would actually sincerely apologize this, and I mean this sincerely.
Okay.
Because it turns out they were not in the tent, were not mongoloids eating us. I come to find that is not the term I was looking for.
You know what's funny is when I was watching the show.
Did you? I can't believe you just said that.
No, I thought it was absolutely awesome. But I'm the guy who's supposed to answer these questions. Yeah. And you're going, how does something sand ticks or something was eating us up? And I'm going, sand gnats, you know.
So mongoloids, I guess, can be very expensive, offensive. So
really? Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't think about that.
I didn't either. And
I saw it as a monster. Never mind. You know what? Let's skip that part of the show.
So, anyways, how are you doing? I missed you last week.
I am awesome. This is our 1 hour vacation of the week.
Coffee's good tonight. I'll say that.
Coffee is awesome.
And my new Rodney Rogers Outdoors
vlog. Hey. Did you have to get a new one? Oh, you did? Oh, no.
No, I'm just saying. No. Sounds better if it's new.
It does.
So you were in Destin?
So I was in Destin, Florida. And we're going to talk about that here in a second.
Well, you made national news. Well, not you personally, but Destin did. Because
it rained to no end.
Yeah.
We were hoping to get some diving in, some snorkeling or something of the sort. But
you did get some periscoping in, which under the weather conditions is very appropriate.
Yes, I did get some
periscope with you.
Exactly. Of the truck, literally the bottom of my truck. I mean, the more it rained, you know, they kept calling and said, hey, you need to move your truck, you know, and I'm like, hell, I got a four-wheel drive. I'm jacked up. I got this. And the next thing you know, I'm thinking they're, you know, said, you need to move your truck. And finally, I mean, there was really nowhere to go. I mean, it was just so deep. I mean, it doesn't matter where you went. It was going to get deeper. So I just pulled my truck up on the curb and gave myself an extra 6 inches. And that's all I needed.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Time has been, flying. Number one, this is our 87th episode. If we are consistent and don't miss a week, that means our first show in 2016, our New Year's show, will be episode 100.
100. That is awesome. Remember when we said, man.
I know.
How awesome is that? Hey,
I know that means nothing to anybody else, but to us, it's worthy of a.
And here's to everybody listening and watching. I know I've got glasses on, but these are mainly as I explained earlier, they're 3D glasses. I see everything.
Kind of Minority Report.
Yeah, everything's actually in front of me, and I can push it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So no, these are eyeglasses, and I'm getting to be blind as a bat. Well, we got a lot to talk about, man.
Bowling tournament this weekend. Tell me, we have not even spoken about this.
So we had the bowling tournament. A gentleman by the name of Dean bought me for $305, so he got to bowl with me, and with that, I get to take him gator hunting. So I'm going to take him this weekend. We're going to take him out Friday and maybe Saturday. So hopefully we get him something Friday.
Fantastic.
Because I'd like to go out Saturday. As you know, gators can be hard to find. They can be very finicky. And you know what he was telling me is he bought us to this. He's had tags for 2 years, and they just haven't been able to harvest an alligator. It's just not that easy. I mean, you and I have been several years together.
True,
and it's really not that easy.
They're not just sitting out there waiting for you to kill them.
Exactly. The giant alligators become giant alligators for a reason. You scout them, you find them. You and I have county tags this year. So we have one more on your tag, and I'm hoping we can get that during the week to get you tagged out. We have one more to tag.
Well, the weather seems to be settling down a little bit, maybe.
A little bit, yeah.
So
hopefully we can get out and tag that guy.
Because we fought a lot of rain.
And he's just not been successful. So, he says, man, I just want to see how to do it. And everything that he's doing is right. But, it's just those conditions, because when I get in a boat, you see me. I mean, I've got everything. I'm ready for everything.
Yeah.
And you have to be because you don't know what situation you're going to be in.
Where are his tags for?
Lake County.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got tags for Lake County, which I've hunted Lake County. I had a gentleman that had Lake County tags when I had the Gator boat. And I told him, man, that's a tough county. While there are alligators up there, it's just not as plentiful as, other places.
Yeah,
it's Lake County is just a lot of hills, Claremont area, it's just got it's just not a lot of alligators up there per capita, I would say. So he wants to kind of see how we do it, and I hope we don't disappoint him. We're going to give it the old college try. Okay. But the bowling out, back to the bowling.
Yeah, please.
It was a blast. I mean, if you've never been to the Rock Pink, we raised $38,580.
That's pretty amazing.
For Rock Pink. Here, let me hit my clap. Oh, and they're working. You thought I had sound effects, didn't you, Mike?
I was like, dang, he got it. He did watch last week's show.
No, I'm not allowed to have them yet.
I've got your cable right here, so
okay, so you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
You know what? I meant to download some. It's just been a crazy week since I've been back. I really haven't had time. Funny. So we raised a lot of money for Rock Pink. I mean, that's going to help a lot of people. That's what it's all about for us. I mean, we had
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, we had Rob Art give us a gator tooth necklace. He's on our Facebook. Hey guys, let me pitch. This guy he makes custom alligator necklaces where he hand carves whatever you want onto the gator tooth and puts it in a real nice necklace. That's what he does for a living. He's on our website. Look him up and just say, hey, I saw you on Rodney Rogers Outdoors. They're inexpensive. I mean, they're around the $80 range.
They're pretty phenomenal though.
They are absolutely phenomenal.
There's some really cool.
And
we'll put a link up there and
he's gonna make me one. I'm gonna send him a couple teeth down. And we're gonna put something on it. Anyway, I won't go into that.
Okay.
We got things coming. So check him out. Look on my Facebook on Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Look on my personal Facebook on Rodney Rogers and look up Rob Art. And what we're gonna do is I just want to show him some love.
No, that's great.
Say, hey, man, we saw you on Rodney Rogers Outdoors. Hit it, like him, check him out, man. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, I can't thank him enough. And our buddy Shane is the one that hooked us up, Shane Bedsole.
Yep.
We've got he sent me some dates in November to go out to the camp. So I'm gonna hook you. You and I will converse about that.
Okay.
Mike, we just got so much to talk about, man.
I didn't see you for one Tuesday night, and it feels like all summer's gone. I know.
Exactly. So
the turnout was good. And thank you for saying that because it really was for a great cause.
Absolutely.
And bottom line is it was a fundraiser
and I sold my copper art there. It sold for $100.
Okay. See, this is new to me. Now I saw the photo you posted and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So
going on here?
Those are the copper arts. I donated to the silent auction.
Okay.
Because we only raised $305, and normally we raise about $900.
Because I recognize the bass.
Yeah, yeah, the mahi.
No, the bass.
There's a mahi and 2 sailfish.
The bass that was behind your photos.
Oh, I got you.
I recognized him or her.
I'm going.
But I'm like that
sailfish.
I'm like, so I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. So that was your artwork.
Yes, that was my artwork. The copper art that that I've been working on. I framed it. And
very impressed.
And I put it up and gave it to Rock Pink. So total, I raised myself for Rock Pink about $400 or $500. So probably closer to there. It is. Yeah, that's it. Closer to the $400 range. So they turned out really nice. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna be making more. Once I got them framed up, I went, man, those look great. So we're gonna be framing a lot of those up. I'm gonna be working on some bass. And
they look phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Sincerely, those look really good.
The first 3 I did, I autographed them for them just in case anything ever becomes of me. I might. Guess who that is?
I have no idea. So
I got to meet the guy I've been trying to meet. This is probably the only person I have not met with Real Radio 104.1, and that's Mr. Jim Phillips himself. Of course,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, he's rarely at events. Normally, he's at the chili cook-offs. I don't get to see him that often, and I never got to meet him. So, the first time I called into Real Radio was to Jim Phillips almost 17 years ago.
Gosh.
How crazy is that? That was the first gentleman I spoke to on Real Radio 104.1.
Very cool.
So,
yeah, I was wondering who that was because I couldn't see a lot of. Now, I went to the 104.1 website and looked through their photos.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
I have.
Got a lot of good photos.
They put a lot since I looked at the first 200.
Well, because obviously they hired a professional photographer.
Yeah, they had Wayne Sysock.
Yes.
Now a good friend of ours.
Very good. But a lot of photos on there. You had some good photos and a lot of people. So off the air, I want to go through those with you and say who's that.
Okay,
because there are a lot. He did a great job of just documenting the whole thing.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you want to check that out, go to monsters.fm. Monsters of the Morning.
Yep.
Jimmy, Carlos, Angel, and Russ Rollins, the man himself. They are really going above and beyond for us. I mean, they're including me on everything, and we try to help them out every chance we get. So
they need our help.
Yeah.
Go over there and like them. Yeah. They need a few
go over there and
likes.
like the monsters if you're not doing it already. Mike, there's just so much to talk about, man.
I know.
I'm gonna just pop into top news real quick.
Yeah, let's do some. Let's do some top stories.
Top stories. This guy, he's digging for. He's dug on his farm for years. So, Michigan farmer digs up bones of an ancient
mammoth, a woolly mammoth.
A woolly mammoth. Yes, you are right. See, if I had my sound effects, I could go ding, ding, ding. But
you know how I knew that?
How'd you know that?
It was water cooler talk today at the office.
No way.
Yeah, somebody said a woolly mammoth.
A woolly mammoth in Michigan, of all places. Now, here, you know what? Okay, we've had woolly mammoths before. This thing is an absolute giant. This guy's about 6 feet. We're on my screen now. Look, he's literally standing inside one of the tusks. I mean, look at the curve on that tusk.
Yeah, I was wondering when I hadn't seen this yet, but I was wondering how they knew it was a woolly mammoth, but it looks like
mammoth. I mean, you can almost spot it right off. Now, here's the interesting part about this woolly mammoth.
I think that's snuffleupagus.
It looks like snuffleupagus. They dug it up, and here's what they've ascertained, that there's only half the mammoth there. So this woolly mammoth is consistent with ancient hunters killing the mammoth, burying it in a muddy pond to keep the meat cool enough to be able to eat. How awesome is that? So they've ascertained that 10,000, 20,000 years ago, a hunter killed that woolly mammoth and put him in that pond. I'm sure there must have been
a way to preserve your meat.
10,000 years ago.
Wow.
Not even Maytag was around back then, were they?
Probably not.
Probably not. So I don't know how many it took to drag to the pond and bury him.
It's pretty wild.
But I just
that
thought
tusk
that was
is probably 8 feet, 9 feet long.
Oh yeah, at least yeah. And those things they buy those tusks. Museums buy them by the pound. Yeah, that's the only tusk you'll be able to get into the state of Florida, by the way, or the United States. So I just thought that was absolutely awesome. And then I'm gonna pop this one up. Do you got anything you want to mention?
Keep talking, Rodney. I got a few things, but
okay. 10-year-old girl bags a 13-foot gator in Texas.
Okay, so let me ask you a first question.
Yes.
Is it gator hunting obviously gator hunting season in Texas now?
Yes. Yeah.
Do they coincide? Is there any correlation between?
They kind of do, because gators breed about the same time of year in all locations. I mean, it's just that time of year. Remember, weather and temperature affects all their habitats. So yeah, it's hunting season there as far as Louisiana, all the southern states, all the way up to South Carolina. So posing by a gigantic 800-pound alligator, 10-year-old Ella Hawk is shorter. She's even shorter in the tail. Of course, she's 10 years old, so the tail alone is probably 8 feet of it at least.
So does that mean she pulled the trigger on? She's obviously got a crossbow there.
Yep, she shot the.
Can we crossbow him here?
Yeah, we can crossbow him.
Okay,
absolutely. We can bow hunt. We can. Man, we can load the boat up and look like Indians.
So she was probably the one who pulled the trigger on the crossbow.
Yeah, so she's the one to pull the trigger, and of course they all pulled it in, and she got to bang it. The guide added that if Hawk had missed the first shot or failed to land a killing blow, the gator would have likely tried to swim to safety. So she pile drove it, banged. I mean, just did the whole thing. So this is a 10-year-old, awesome little hunter, Ella Hawk. Way to go. And then you and I get these little bitty teeny weeny.
I like the way she's holding on to the gator's toe as it's hanging there. Yeah.
She's holding up to grab the toe. So
that's crazy, man.
That is absolutely awesome. I just kind of wanted to mention that. So how'd you do, Mike? What you got?
7 essential points for bear hunting in Florida.
Oh, written by guess who?
Your one and only Tony Young,
which I got to see him last week. I went and seen Tony Young.
How was that?
That was absolutely awesome. It was his birthday. I didn't know it, but I met up with him on his birthday, and man, Tony Young is an awesome guy. I got to eat lunch with him. He took me to Marie's Steakhouse.
Really?
Yeah, and we got to meet Marie. So it was absolutely phenomenal, and we'll talk about that when you get done with your 7 tips. But yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not going to read them, but I am going to point people to the right place to read them, because this is a whole article on the FWC website, and you are correct, written by Tony Young.
He was typing that the day I was there. He was trying to get it off the.
Oh, that's why in paragraph 3 he says, "No, wait a minute, Rodney just walked in."
Exactly. That explains everything, doesn't it, Mike?
But it did write an article on 7 essential points for bear hunting in Florida. Let me just read the 7 categories, because it's a very intriguing time for all of us when we're talking about the new bear hunting season.
Right.
Because there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of intrigue.
Yes. And I'll tell you the buzz of the office while I was up there.
But where can you hunt? He wants to know where can you hunt? Are you pointing to something? What are you
I'm hoping you put it up. There we go.
I'm like, you're seeing something I'm not. You're seeing ghosts. So where can you hunt? Talks about that. And again, I'll put a link to this on the show notes for this weekend's. Which license and permits do you need? Right?
Yep.
$100 for residents, $300 for non-residents.
Let me just touch on number 2 real quick. Which license and permits do you need? Now, a lot of people, 65-year-olds, military vets, think they're exempt from a lot of licenses. No one is exempt from the bear hunt license. Remember, the only exemption is if you have a lifetime license bought before, I think it's 98, I believe it is. 1998, before July of 1998. If you bought a lifetime license, that is the only exemption.
Dang, Rodney, you know stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've been hanging around Tony.
You know stuff.
And you still have to have your license. It's free, but you better have it on you. They are taking this very serious. They are not going to play games with this. So make sure you read these 7 things if you're going to bear hunt.
Wow.
Don't be the guy. Don't be the guy.
No, that's good. Solid highlight there, Rodney.
I just wanted to touch on that.
Points for the assist. No, please continue. How to find out. Number 3, how to find out if a BMU, which I'm assuming stands for Bear Management Unit, met its harvest objective and closes. Why is that important, Rodney?
It's why it's important. We have 2 days of guaranteed hunt. That is the 23rd and the 24th.
Is there any other season that goes down like this?
No. No.
That's why this is important to
and
hear
this season may not is most likely not going to continue to next year. I mean, it's this. Remember that we haven't done this in 20 years. It's a hit. You know, it's as needed.
So explain that. I interrupted you. Sorry.
You have 2 days of matter of fact. You will get to hunt on the 23rd and 24th. On the night of the 24th, yes. After I think it's 7 or 8 p.m. You call and they will
after 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep.
After 9 p.m. you call that that number that they give you, and then they'll tell you if what areas were met in quota and what areas were not, and then the season could last up to 7 days, but it's per day basis. As each BMU, bear management unit, reaches their quota for bears, then it will close down. So it's important to make that call. Again, you don't want to be that guy going into a bear management unit hunting for bear and kill a bear where it's already closed.
Incredibly important. It's like living up north and listening on the radio for snow days.
Exactly.
Ish. Sort of the same.
Ish. You don't want to get caught in the snow with your pants down.
You wake up to see if you're going to school that day. Right. But and if you don't remember all these specific points, not necessary, but hear the highlighted points that we're saying. So you go, oh, wait a minute. Rodney said something about going back and checking. Then you go dig the details, but at least put it in the back of your head that's important. You got 2 days for sure.
Don't guess.
But after that, you need to find out if it's a snow day the next day.
Make sure you don't want to be in a snow day.
Number 4, what methods of take are legal?
Now, this is very important because bear management units are also mixed in with deer management units, which is also on wildlife management areas. So your method of take is going to dictate to the area that you're in. If you're in bow season in that area, that's the only method you can take that bear. So,
wow,
does that make sense?
It does.
So, look at where you're hunting. Look at the bear management unit. Again, if you're listening and you are a bear hunter, do not get these messed up. You're gonna pay dearly for this. So, they want it to go successful. They don't want they put a lot of money and research into this to get it right. You know what?
I'm actually going to post a link to this article on the homepage. Of Rodney Rogers, because this is so important, and this article alone will guide you to this information. Again, here are these highlighted points we're talking about. We're going to continue with this list because I think it's so important. Even on that one, it says find out by looking on page 3 or 4 which page to look at of the 2015 Guide to Bear Hunting in Florida. So the information is here, but again, hear the headlines here
and definitely
go dig for the details when you need to.
If it's a lot to swallow, call the Rodney Rogers hotline, 262-345-7763. Leave a message. I'll get back to you and we'll work through this together.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will work through it with you so you understand, because the last thing I want to see you is in trouble.
Number 5 is what bears are legal to take.
That is probably one of the most important.
Which actually surprises me.
Yes, and here's how this. I don't say that on here. If you look on there, 2 of the best ways to judge a bear as an adult and to be at least 100 pounds is by trees that you're near in your hunting setup. So by the size of the bear's ears proportioned to the head.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you better be a hunter. Don't be a first-time guy out there. If you shoot a bear that is too small, remember, they're going to, a gutted bear is only about 30% less than its original weight. That's a number that they have already ascertained. So when you weigh that bear, if it's under the minimum, they're going to nail you. You better be on cue, better be on mark. And remember, your bear, Florida bears, and that's, Mike, this goes back to bears, their cubs stay with them for 2 years. Now, after the first year, they're safe. But if you see a mother bear with 2 cubs with her, do not shoot that bear.
Wow.
Do not shoot that bear. That's not illegal to take bear.
Just to read, I mean, this is actually probably worthy of reading. This is an important step to be sure. Your hunt is legal and ethical. A cub is defined as a bear that is less than 100 pounds. 2 of the best ways to judge if a bear is an adult and at least 100 pounds is by marking trees that are near your hunt setup and by the size of the bear's ears, like you said, Rodney, in proportion to its head. Man, you know things. Adult Florida bears are typically at least 3 feet high at the shoulders when on all fours. And you can take a tape measure and mark 3 feet up on any tree near your stand. So you have a measurement to use if the bear approaches.
That's your best method.
And a bear's ears do not get larger with age. So if you see a bear that appears to have big ears, then it's a young bear.
That's the point.
Probably not one that is legal to take.
Right.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So my method, if I was going to bear hunt, would be if I see that bear and I go, oh my God, that is a giant bear. If I couldn't ascertain right off the bat, ascertain is my word of the night, by the way.
That's like the 4th or 5th time. I was going to bring that out, but I thought, well, maybe I'm just practicing.
Yeah. So if you see that bear and you literally look at it and go, oh my God, that's a giant bear, in your head, then it's probably going to be a good bear. Now, if it's questionable.
So if you're like, man, he's got big ears, that means it's a
baby bear.
Baby bear.
Exactly.
But it's not the same with people. If you go, oh my gosh, you have big ears.
Yes.
Just keep that to yourself.
Kind of get behind them.
But if it looks proportionally smaller, that's an interesting fact.
But yeah, I mean, man, don't be a new guy wanting to go shoot a bear. Have some experience. Hopefully you've at least seen them.
Number 6, Rodney, how to comply with mandatory checking of harvested bears. What's that mean?
That's going to be your most important. You have, I know at one point it was 12 hours. At one point it was 24. They were kicking around the idea of 24. I can't read it from here, but I think it's 12 hours within you harvesting the bear. You need to get to the check station. For every bear management unit, there's going to be a check station within 20 minutes to 30 minutes of every state. There's going to be a ton of check stations, which is, you're not going to be here on that weekend, are you? 24th, 23rd, and 24th?
I have no idea.
Okay. If you are, I'd love to fire up the cameras and let's just go look at bears. I think that would be just.
Well, at a check station or something?
We get to hang out at check stations, and just.
Interview people?
Yeah. Hand out cards, Rodney Rogers Outdoors cards, and say, hey, we're excited. We want to see what people are harvesting, that kind of thing. I would absolutely love to do that. So you have to be at that check station. If you are caught with that bear, remember, they're going to take this serious. You don't want to be caught with that bear because if you don't check in your bear right away, you wait 24 hours and they close out that bear management unit and you still got a bear you haven't checked in. Woo, that's a poached bear. And that's a big deal. That's a felony. And I just want to get out there right now. If you are a convicted felon, you cannot hunt anymore. You are done. Not even with black powder. So don't think you can do it with black powder. You're done hunting in the state of Florida. There's no way around it unless you get exonerated through the courts.
Wow.
You don't want to be the guy.
Holy smokes. Lastly, number 7, where can you find more information?
This thing is just littered with links. And I'll tell you, if you just take it step by step, link by link, you're the questions that you need answered are there.
They've got the bear hunting guide you can download, which they've got the bear hunting section of the FWC. They've got YouTube videos out so you can watch videos if that pertains, if you absorb information better that way. But this is good stuff and very important. So I will actually put a link to the FWC website of their 7 essential points for bear hunting in Florida. Now, the hunting season is when?
Hunting season started September the 12th.
Okay, so it's full blown right now.
Yeah, it's full blown season. We're still we're still in bow season, archery season. Now remember, you got to look in your zones.
Yeah.
We're still in zone C, which is Polk County. They still don't start for another 3 weeks. Their first season hasn't even started. So I mean, look at your zones. MyFWC.com. You cannot go wrong there. They've done a phenomenal job with this website. Every question you need answered is up there, I assure you. And if you don't, call them. I mean, I called them and got some questions answered with Mike and I, gator hunting Dilly Bob.
Wow.
Way to go. So
let's move on really quickly here.
Yeah, let's
Trophy Catch begins its 4th season. What is Trophy Catch? Trophy Catch Florida is actually, we've talked about this before.
Yes.
It's a very cool program they put in to allow to innovate, motivate people to get out there and fish.
Get out there and fish, exactly.
But they're giving prizes away. You can log, I mean, anywhere from T-shirts to cash prizes.
Honestly, if you log in the largest bass of the year, I mean, there's like a $10,000 purse out there. I mean, it's a big deal.
And they're giving a lot of notoriety. People, I mean, it's just a very cool thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I'll tell you, just on that note, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. This is big fish season. This is the time of the year when fish get really big. Spring, when they spawn out, and when they get ready to spawn, they fill up. Now we're going into winter. Remember, they spawn at 65 degrees. So when that water temperature gets down to 65 degrees, they spawn. If it does it 5 times a year, they'll spawn 5 times a year. So they're in that pattern again. So if you're going to catch a giant bass, the fall time of the year is probably one of the absolute best to catch that giant bass.
Wow.
So keep that in mind.
So we're wrapping up season 3 of Trophy Catch. Check this out. It says, since inception of the innovative Citizen Science Conservation Rewards Program in October of 2012, nearly 3,000 trophy largemouth bass heavier than 8 pounds have been caught, documented and released in Florida.
That's amazing.
This is all a catch and release program.
Yes.
But again, go to the website, trophycatchflorida.com, and check it out.
Yeah.
It's done incredibly well. It's attractive. It's engaging. And if you're out fishing anyways, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Become a part of this. Document this stuff, and who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And get a certificate and get your picture done up and, get something worthy of.
And you might win cash.
Yeah, and you definitely might win cash.
I got one more for you, Rodney.
Absolutely. Let them go.
Because this is going to pass really quick, and we haven't talked about it much.
Exactly.
But starting October 1st, which was 5 days ago, 6 days ago, it's the 6th today, you can register for the Python removal competition online at pythonchallenge.org. If you are one of the first 200 people to sign up, which is probably passed, I went to the website and couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
We receive a free 2016 Python Challenge t-shirt.
Oh, well, I meant to sign up the first day. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up tonight.
Compete to see if you can harvest the longest or the most Burmese pythons and win grand prize of $5,000 in the team category and $3,500 in the individual category.
You know what's funny is the last time it was $2,500 and $1,500. So they've upped it.
They're wanting
snakes bad.
I know.
They're wanting them bad. I got the plan this year, so I'm going to do it again.
I mean, number one, it'd be a blast.
Yeah.
Number 2, you could win cash.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I like number 2.
I like 2's good.
And the money.
Good. So you've got a plan. You've got a plan. So you've got. Are we in this year? Are we doing something?
We're gonna do this. Yes, I'm gonna sign up tonight.
Let's see. If you register, which begins. Here's the dates: noon on Saturday, January 16th. 2016, and ends at 7 p.m. Sunday, February 14th. So basically, for 1 month, January 16th, starting January 16th. 4
good weekends to get out there. So it'll be a local that wins the most. But I've got it this year. I've been down there many times. I've got this. I know what to do now.
You must take the required online training,
which we did last time. Remember?
There are also opportunities for in-person training that include hands-on components, which can practice handling and capturing pythons.
I think we can do this.
That would be cool.
And I might. So let's. We got so much to talk about tonight. We're going to be all over the board. I got to speak to Ken, the guy who the Cobra got away from. I got that. He bowled right beside me. So him and I were
really.
Yeah. So we were like conversating quite a bit. Super nice guy, and he actually
the conversating might not actually be a word.
Well, I got a shirt that says I'm conversating. Leave me alone. So yeah, we were in deep conversation about these python or cobras. He has several cobras, and he has several acres. He says, the news made it sound like I had a school right beside me. He goes, I bought years before the school ever arrived. And I have many, many acres. He wouldn't give me an exact number. And he says, that snake has not left my property. I would almost bet everything on it.
I think a large property is probably safe to say, right?
It's probably safe to say. And there's several properties this large in between him and the school that's just miles away. So it's the news just taking pieces and parts, which we all know the media is always 100%.
Sure.
You know, and just the guy is a super nice guy. And honestly, I just definitely a conversation.
Interesting.
If you notice on the news, they don't talk to him. And the few that have not played his baiting where he would conversate. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Hey, do you have time for some letters?
Let's do it.
We got a lot to do, but let's get to it.
Letters. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
Brad from Palatka, Florida says, "Dearest Rodney," I added that part. "What types of lures would you use for fishing next to cattails with water 3 to 4 foot deep in murky water?"
Okay. Here's the key to that. You want to use soft plastics. In those kind of situations, you want your lure to be tight to the cover. So if you're in that area, you want to be tight to the cover, meaning if you've got a lily pad or some cattails, you want to use a soft plastic lure. You want to put rattle in it, and you want to put scent on your bait. So you want all the attractants possible in this murky water to get that bass to hone in on it. Remember, they got the lateral line. You want them to hone in on it and, you know, smell it and hear it in the dark, essentially.
Yep.
That's the best way. Soft plastics, almost any soft plastic, rubber worm, beaver baits, crawfish, rubber crawfish, and that kind of thing. Okay. Absolutely.
Dave from my favorite town, Coffee, Georgia, says, "When bass fishing in a small pond with all the trees and brush," this sounds similar to the other one, "what would be the best lures or bait to throw during spawning?"
Swim baits are some of, during the spawn, if we're talking,
that throws a curve in there,
let's just do a 45-second pre-spawn and post. Okay. So pre-spawn, the female bass feed up. The male bass are already on the bed, making the bed. The female bass go around, eat everything they can. So throw a swim bait of some sort. Remember, match the hatch. Throw some small shiners. If you know there's bluegill in here, throw a bluegill, something blue. So you want to catch it in the pre-spawn. Post-spawn, neither one is really going to bite because they're on the bed. I mean during the spawn. Right. So you want to flip.
There's things going on there.
Yeah.
They're not really interested in you right now.
They're not hungry. So you want to get in the bed. The closer to the bed, the more apt you are to catch fish. You're going to catch small, aggressive fish that aren't spawning.
Okay.
That aren't really ready to spawn.
Yeah.
Just outside the bed by throwing other baits. But to catch those big fish, you want to get in the bed because they're going to get aggressive and move it out of the bed. When they do, you can get. Now, in the post-spawn, we're back to what we had the pre-spawn. Excuse me, the female is going to start gorging herself on bait again. She hasn't eaten for 20 days, 14 to 20 days. So
we've all seen that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've all been there before. So, you want to catch her when she starts to feed up again. So that's pre, spawn, and post. So remember,
interesting.
Pre and post, you're going to be pretty much doing the same thing. How'd I do?
Fantastic.
Let's do it.
As always. Debbie from Orlando, Florida. "My husband loves bass fishing, and we live on a lake. I want to buy him a nice reel and rod for his birthday, and I'm getting more and more confused by looking online. It has to be something nice. Could you help?" Now, we get this question a lot.
Yeah, this is a total question. Here's a way to simplify. Look at the amount of time he's going to be fishing. I would not recommend buying a $500 rod and reel combo if he's not going to be fishing a lot. But I will tell you this. If he starts fishing, he starts catching, he'll end up fishing a lot. So I wouldn't spend any less than $80 on a combo, a reel and a rod combo. And there's a ton of rod and reel combos out there right now. My number one pick, if you're going to just right out of the chute, is a Penn Battle 2 3000 on the Penn rod. So it's a rod and reel combo. You can go 100 different directions and other reels and rods, but if you're just starting out, get the Penn Battle 2 combo. That is a fantastic reel. The bearings are it's just an awesome combo for salt and fresh. And you can have braided line put on it. And
walking out the door, they're about $80.
Yeah,
bucks?
well, walking out the door, that you're running at about $120.
Okay.
So that's my number one pick.
Okay.
And there's a ton of other combos that are, like I said, around that $80 range. But that would be my number one pick. You can buy other rods for $30 and $40, but you're going to end up buying 3 or 4 or 5 of those. So
if she wants something nice, that's a fair bet.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Last question for this evening, Brandon from Cedar Key, Florida says, when using here's an interesting question. When using a cheap fish finder,
a cheap fish finder.
Yeah, exactly. How do I know if the images of fish on the screen are actually fish and of what species?
Okay. Well, when I see a cheap fish finder, that's usually Elroy on the front of the boat going, hey, there's a fish. It's a bluegill. Or a walleye. Look at that. It's a walleye.
Yeah, in that place, you can't trust them.
That is a super cheap fish finder. Here's the deal. If you have there's no such thing as a cheap. There are inexpensive, but the amount of technology that goes into these depth finders, sonars, radar, I mean, you can get one that's around the $99 range. And there's a setting on there that will let you set it to the fish. Now, you will not know the species. You will know that there is fish.
Okay.
And species comes with experience. If you see one fish by itself, you may go, okay, that's one lone bass if you're fishing freshwater. You see a bunch of little fishies, then you'll say, okay, that's a bait school, and there's probably bass under the bait school. So you just learn to read your electronics. That's why these pro fishermen are actually pro fishermen.
Sure.
They are actually, might as well be licensed radiologists.
Gotcha.
They can read sonar.
That's a good point. Just like an experienced doctor can read an x-ray. We look at it and go, I don't get it.
Once you get used to it, you start catching fish off of it.
Yeah.
Pow. Then you get to know what you're seeing.
Interesting.
So I just got a question over here.
Really?
Are you ready for this one? My daughter asked this one.
Oh.
Are you allowed to kill a bear if it comes on your property? If you are in danger? The answer to that would be yes. If a bear comes on your property, like the gentleman, if he would have had a concealed weapons, we just had a bear attack where he killed the dog and attacked the guy. If he would have had a concealed weapon, he could have shot that bear legally. It is attacking you. Same way with a wild pig or anything out of season. If a mountain lion attacks you, if a Florida panther attacks you in the state of Florida, you better have some scratches on you. But yes, you can shoot it. You can. Now, that don't mean you can get home and go grab your rifle and go back out and go look for that bear. At that point, if you survived that attack, then you better call somebody because you can't get your gun and go back after them. So, yes, the answer to that question is if they're on your property and they attack you, yes, you can shoot, just like if it was an intruder.
Interesting.
He's coming right at me. That's the old adage. He's coming right at me. So, right on. How did we do with our letters? We get letters. We get snacks and snacks.
Time flies, doesn't it, Rodney?
Man, it's over. Okay. So, Mike, I mean, as far as our topic goes tonight, I mean, we're all over. I just want to, we got so many things coming up. Stone crab season is now. But we got to set the traps out. I went and set traps out Monday.
Okay.
We were allowed to, they moved the law to, you could set, it used to be 7 days ahead. Now it's 10 days ahead of season. Season starts on the 15th.
You can actually set the trap that far ahead.
Set the trap 10 days ahead of season, which we did. We put 10 traps out Monday. So there again, keep a look because there's always changes to these laws. If you're stone crabbing, a lot of people don't know and they still believe that you can only keep one claw. But you cannot. You can keep both claws. They used to think that these things ate with these claws. But
did it used to only be one claw?
It used to be only one claw.
But now it is, in fact, you can keep both
claws if they are 2 3/4 inches.
Okay.
And there's a measurement point, and we can put that picture up or whatever. There's requirements for your recreational traps. You're allowed 5 traps per person. Your daily bag limit is 1 gallon of claws per person or 2 gallons per vessel.
Okay.
Whichever is less.
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Yeah, you have to think about that. In other words, if you got 10 traps, 2 guys
Sure.
on a boat,
Yeah.
you're only allowed 1 gallon.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you got 15 traps, okay. So yeah, you have to think about it. So we actually set traps out. I can't wait. We're going to check these traps on the 17th of October, which is going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of awesome.
So the season officially opens then when?
15th.
On the 15th.
Yeah.
Okay. And goes for how long?
And it goes till all the way till May.
Okay. So it's kind of like the lobster hunting. It's a
Yeah,
pretty wide.
Yeah, it goes pretty far. A lot of people were setting traps out the other day, so it's a lot of traps out there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm excited. Stone crab. Have you ever had stone crab?
Don't know. I think I have.
It's just the claws.
But, yeah,
you'll know
claws,
it's just
yeah.
claws. Yeah, all they eat is the claws. You harvest them, release them. They molt, grow new claws. And we actually, when we went scuba diving in Sebastian Inlet, we found some stone crab, some really big ones. You literally lift up a rock and poof, there's a stone crab. In that order, too.
Wow.
Rock, stone crab, hence the stone crab. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So, I mean, we got all the seasons coming in. We got hunt seasons. We got, I mean, fishing season. We got, when I say fishing season, we have grouper season starting to close up. We have snook season in full bore. We have, people are catching tons of snook right now. So if you've never snook fish, get out there and do some snook fishing. West Coast is awesome. Everywhere right now. There's a lot of snook out there. When we were diving, I told you, we saw tons of snook. I wish I had a GoPro, but we found one, which we have not seen hide in her hair of the young lady.
Go people. Go to Rodney Rogers Outdoors website and look at this photo.
Yep.
We got 3 photos up there of somebody who lost a GoPro. We'd have nothing more than find the owner.
Go to foundagopro.com.
Let's see. Is that right? Foundagopro.com. I'm going there, Rodney.
Right on. What are you going to find?
I believe you, but I'm going to have to verify.
Verify it, dog.
Look at that. Foundagopro.com.
And poof, takes you right to the pictures. And if you get on YouTube, you look on Rodney Rogers Outdoors YouTube, you will actually find a video of when she lost it.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot we posted.
Yeah.
I need to put that on here. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how many views we got on that thing. So, so we have not heard from her. We've got 7,000 hits on it, but nothing yet. So share it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Share it.
And was you about to say something? Did I just interrupt?
No, I'm always just rambling. No. We got to talk about gators though.
So
let's get on with it.
Let's get in with so Mike and I go gator hunting. We went on a Thursday. Going up on a Thursday. No.
Is that a song?
Tuesday. Yeah.
Is that a song?
The song was on a Tuesday. Up on a Tuesday. Never mind. So anyway, you don't want me singing that. So we hooked into a gator right around 9 o'clock, 9:30-ish. And we end up walking out about 1 a.m.-ish.
Yeah.
A little private pond. We're casting. It's full of weeds, full of you name it. It's full of everything.
Well, you say private. Was it a private pond?
Yeah. Well, it was a pond.
Okay.
It's a small pond. That's
I don't want the
FCWC
coming down on us.
No. Yeah, we can hunt private ponds
with permission.
With permission. Yeah.
So we didn't have permission. So we were not. It wasn't a private pond.
No. This was not. This was a public pond. Yeah.
Keeping us out of trouble here. No, I got you.
We can't get in trouble. We can hunt them all.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no such thing for us.
But if you're on a private pond, you have to have permission.
Yeah, you just got to have permission.
So you said private pond. We were not on a private pond.
No.
Okay.
Well, it's small pond is what I'm trying to say.
I know. Just keeping us legally out of troubles here, Rodney. Your microphone is on and people are listening.
And we can hunt. We can hunt private ponds too.
Confuse me all day long. I don't care.
So we hunted a small pond.
Do we know Popo we're riding up on in here?
we hunted a small pond.
Yes.
So, and it's just full of foliage, full of you name it. It had everything in it. And we hooked this thing a couple times. We actually hooked it 2 or 3 times. And then it just kept unbuttoned, getting loose. And then we hooked it for the last time, which was...
I will say this.
What's that?
Because what I want to do is I want to step through this on video so people can see this process, because I'm still fascinated with this process. And when I talk to people about it, they want to know the basics of how'd you catch it. Well, that's a very kind of a generic, broad statement.
Yeah.
But how you caught it is pretty basic, but you have to almost see it to understand. We snagged it with the hook.
Right.
This big monster gorilla fishing hook looking thing.
It's a big.
But this gator, your first cast, he was on the far side of the lake.
Yes.
So the idea is to cast this big hook on the other side of the gator, reel it back, and just literally snag.
Right. That's
any part of the gator you can.
Right. Exactly.
A foot, a tongue, a tooth, a tail, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it's literally just pulling this hook back over on top of the gator.
Right.
So casting is key here.
Casting is the utmost accuracy is important,
especially when it's pitch dark.
Yep.
And the gator is on the other side of the lake. Again, this was a fairly small pond, so you could cast to the other side of the lake.
Right.
But he's right up, literally a foot or two, maybe even less, to the other side of the shore, which is much more debris and foliage and mulch and everything else.
Once your snag hook, your treble hook gets caught into the debris, it's not hooking anything.
Yeah.
It's only bringing in a bunch of debris.
So I'm shining the light in the gator's eyes just so you have a reference point. And this is our only light.
Yeah, this is it. All we're seeing is
I'm
a
standing
little red
behind
dot.
you, shining the light to the other side of the lake. So you're watching these dots, and you literally cast. And your first cast, you snag this gator.
Pow. And he was in the foliage. I mean, he was literally in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And I pile drived him on the first shot.
Now he did get away, but you snagged him the first.
Yeah.
But again, there's something about that moment
when he's hooked.
When he's hooked.
Yeah.
I mean, your blood starts pumping again. Now to mention, we weren't in a boat this time. We chose to do it from land.
Yeah, we
for
went
some
right
efficiency
out of work.
reasons, really.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't want to load up the boat and and do all the whole spiel.
Just do something totally different. So we were standing on the shore as if you were fishing for a fish.
Absolutely. And we hooked him that first time. We fought him for a little bit, and then he unbuttoned.
Yeah.
When I say unbuttoned, that means he got loose.
Yep.
Could be, who knows?
Who knows how good we had him in the first place,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And what I have is I have an Okoma reel, which is a big, giant bait caster with a 100-pound test line. So we had another shot at him. We made 10 or 12 casts, and then he moved into just the right spot.
He moved several times, and we would literally walk to another portion of the lake to try to get the angles. So you're not, because every time you would pull it back in, you're having to undo all of this mulch and foliage from your hook.
Exactly.
So it's a process every time you cast, because you're dragging it back across the lake, snagging all this stuff with you. Yeah. And finally, we said, you know what? Let's let him be for a minute. And
exactly.
We walked
hunted
away.
Some canals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went back, and he popped up, and he was in a thicker spot.
Yeah.
And we managed to get him on the first cast there as well. And that time it was a done deal. Yeah.
Because what originally got my motor running is when we saw him and we walked to try to get a better angle. We were fairly close to him. I'd say 25 feet maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And he saw us or heard us, but he up and over and turned the other way, but he left a pretty good wake in his trail. And I'm like, okay, this is a gator. I kept telling him, I want this gator.
Right.
Rodney, I want this gator. Of course, he seemed, I thought it was bigger than it actually ended up being, but
right.
But he sure moved a lot of water when he first splashed that first time.
Exactly.
But I knew it wasn't a 5-footer. It was It was bigger than that.
And then we hooked him, and then he did we were able to pull him in for 15, 20 feet. And then once he realized he was hooked, he just went under the nastiest, ugliest part of the lake he could. And then I looked at Mike and said, okay, well, here's the bad part. We got to go in and get him.
And when you said you meant you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I meant me. But I eventually did get you.
Yep.
I told Mike as I turned around and said, we got some bad news and some good news. And I said, the good news is we still have the gator on the line. The bad news is you're going to have to come in and help me.
True story.
And Mike said, what? No, really, what?
You funny You funny
you're
man.
a funny guy.
So when you said you were going to go in the water, you literally emptied your pockets.
Yep.
Made sure you have keys and all good stuff,
and
walked up.
Started following the fish.
Probably what offshore, 30, 40 feet.
Yeah, probably
by the
30,
time
40 feet.
done?
I mean, this whole pond is literally 300-400 feet wide.
Yeah, and it wasn't deep out. I mean, you're waist high ish.
Yeah, it was getting deeper. I couldn't go any deeper.
Okay.
I could feel that it just dropped off. So I was at my limits where you saw me.
But again, folks, let me paint this picture for you. It's pitch dark. The only light is a spotlight that we have, a flashlight.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Spotlight, flashlight. It's now, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Ish. And mosquitoes are horrendous. Eating you alive. And Rodney begins to then take the flashlight and go into the water. Now, I had a light on my camera.
Which was an awesome light.
Which was an awesome light. But Rodney tells me at some point, I'm going to tell you to turn off the light for your own safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I'm illuminating you, I'm lighting you up for the gator.
Yep.
You can see what's going on. So you're better off being in the dark.
Right. Where all he can see is my spotlight.
Yeah. So every once in a while, you give me the signal, I'd kill it totally. I'd kill my light. So it's totally dark.
And the problem is we didn't know where this thing was. I knew he was under that mud somewhere, but I had no way of knowing where. He wasn't giving us any clue. He wasn't trying to swim off. He just kept swimming underneath.
And the fact that you had him on the line was almost misleading because you didn't know how he had zigzagged
exactly.
under how the line. There was no direct indication of where he was.
Exactly. And I was digging that line out of that mud and grass.
Well, which is why you went in, because there's no way you were pulling him up along with all of the debris that was on top of your line. So you had to go in, clear the line in order to reel him up.
And then we reeled him up.
Yeah.
We eventually did get him up on shore.
Well, yeah, because you needed me in there because, number one, you wanted to stand, correct me if I'm wrong, a little weight 10 feet in front of me, 15 feet in front of me, and then I would pull and back up get some slack and reel in that slack.
That's exactly right.
And then eventually I would slowly pull the gator to you within bang stick range, and then you would bang stick him.
Exactly.
So that was our plan.
That was our plan. Exactly right.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm pulling and I'm going, you're grabbing hold of that 100-pound test line with my bare hands. So it was a little bit of you had to pull slowly or you'd tear your skin. Yeah,
I did. I got cuts all over my hands.
So I'm pulling, I'm going, okay, I can do this. I'm pulling. And then I'd reel. And I think I did that twice, and I pulled and I reeled in the slack. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm pulling, taking a step back. Well, that shore is only like 30 feet back. Why don't I just keep walking backwards?
So you bailed out on me?
No,
you did.
I'm accomplishing the same thing.
Yes, that's exactly right.
But getting closer to the shore. So I'm like, okay, step.
Yeah.
And rather than reeling, my slacking.
Sneak back here.
So next thing you know, I'm over on the shore, just kind of reeling.
That's exactly.
I don't know if you know, but it's a little safer.
Yeah, it was a lot safer.
Yeah.
And it worked out great because I was able to pull the foliage off, and we got him to where.
But we didn't bang him. We didn't bang stick him in the way we intended to by pulling him in. We were both on shore reeling him in. We both.
Yeah. At this point, I think I was ankle deep. The gator was in. I couldn't bang it out of the water. I had to have the head underwater. The bang stick just throws shrapnel everywhere because there's no barrel to it. I mean, it's just right there. So we got a couple bangs on it.
Well, we pulled him up on shore and basically pulled a small island
that's
up with
exactly
us.
Right. Yeah.
And so at one point we had thought, you said
there was a blanket wrapped around him.
Well, at one point you said, I think he got away.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And that all we were, because it seemed like he wasn't fighting anymore.
Yeah.
And that all of this we were doing was pulling this whole little
giant
island of debris up to the shore.
Right.
And then you said, well, hang on, let me just check one more time. So you started swirling around and poking in there with the bang stick. And you felt his
derms on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, oh nope, he's in there.
Yep. He's there.
Then
we saw his tail.
Then you saw his tail.
So when I grabbed his tail is when we kind of shook him up, and he decided, okay, it's time to go.
But it was interesting. You had mentioned that you thought maybe at one point you had thought maybe we drowned him.
Yeah, honestly.
Because he wasn't fighting. I mean, because he was underwater so long.
We had 2 hours
that he might have been
that
affected.
he never popped up, and I thought, okay, well, we finally got the best of this thing,
and that might have played a factor there until he probably got some air back in his system from being up in the shallows again.
And boy, did he! He definitely got some air up. So we got a video coming of some excitement. We're going to be talking through it.
Here's what I'd like to do as we brainstorm and talk candidly on the air here. Because what we didn't do that night is clean them. Typically, we'd go back to your place and clean, but it was 1:30-ish by the time we got back. And
exactly.
So we froze him, put him on some ice, right? Yep. I'm hoping he's still on ice.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely on ice.
And thinking that we'll go back. So what I'd like to go back, I'm anxious to videotape that process, get some good video. Yeah. And at the same time, we dialogue and show in detail, maybe you with the bang stick in hand, we talk through, because that night when you're heat of the moment, we weren't in video production mode, we were in gator catching mode.
Right, exactly.
And I'm just filming the process, filming you doing your thing.
And normally there's me and Nick there.
Yeah. So it was different than normally, but we got some great footage.
Yeah.
Some really good footage.
Yes, we did. We got some awesome.
Which is what I was hoping to do. But I would like to then tie that in with the cleaning portion, but maybe as we're that night, we talk over and do some of the how-tos, because I'd like to really have you say some of the things on camera that we didn't necessarily that night because we were in gator hunting mode.
No, that's exactly right.
So that's my hope, so that people can see all of this footage in a comprehensive evening, comprehensively tag, and then tag the cleaning the gator on at the end.
Yeah, and the whole process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we got to go back and still clean the gator.
Yeah, we'll do that when we have the time.
But we got him up on shore.
And normally I know we're about out of time. Normally I hand everybody a roll of tape and I hand everybody a bullet and I make sure everybody's, but it's just you and I. It was kind of spur of the moment and I forgot.
I did have the bullet. I didn't have the tape.
Right. I forgot our tape.
Yep.
My tape and your tape. Yep. So, I had banged it twice with a 357 and I cut what I thought was the complete spine. Now this knife has been through heck. I am going to get me a new Gator knife, by the way. I'm going to have one custom made, but I missed a nerve or two.
Or the second one was probably the important one.
Yes.
That you missed.
The second nerve that I missed. So we wanted to film the tagging part. We got the Gator up. We're dragging it.
Let me repeat. Moving. He'd been shot twice.
Yeah.
And stabbed in the back of the head. Severely stabbed. Yeah. I mean, he was bleeding good.
Yeah, and I thought I'd got every ounce of the
But we
nerves.
drug him, 40 yards to the truck?
Yeah, exactly. So I got him to the
sound,
truck.
Not a movement.
Not a flinch, not a twitch. So I said, okay, let's film us tagging it because we got to get the tag in.
This is an important part.
Yeah, one of the most important parts is getting that tag in to make it a legal gator. You can't really transport it without this tag. So Mike gets all positioned. He's got the camera. Everything's great, man. We're going good. And then I poked this thing in the tail.
He didn't like it, Rodney.
No, he did not. And from my angle, I thought he had you, dog. I'm not going to lie. I thought he had you. And from your angle, I'm sure you thought he had. Did he touch you?
I don't remember any touching.
I
just know what I remember most is the hissing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he hissed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He did some hissing. And you know what? I'm impressed. You got the whole thing. You put that camera right in his face.
Yeah, we didn't miss.
You had him, dude. I got to give you. You were like,
I was there for one reason, Rodney.
I'm cameraman first. If he bites my butt cheek off, we'll go.
What? I actually think if he would have got me, I still would have kept the camera on him.
I think so. I believe he would have.
I actually would have.
Maybe we can try that out next time.
Yeah. But he hissed and spun around, and again, his mouth was wide open at that point.
And from my angle, I mean, I gave a little tug on the tail, but it had no effect on that end of it.
Yeah,
I thought I could pull him away from you, but the tail was curved.
Yeah,
and it just not happening.
I mean, he had one last hurrah there, and that was it.
So we've got taped to mouth, Mike.
Yeah,
we won't forget that part again. So yeah, that's a very important part. So we got some great footage, like you said. You made me a little highlight reel just for us. And
maybe what we'll do is take that segment and put it out. I want to save everything else until we get the final footage.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Just take the.
We'll take that little fun last ditty right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that might get a hit or 5. So, but yeah, that was absolute. So we harvested one of your tags.
Yep. And he, we didn't say he was about a 7-footer.
Yeah, he was. I 7 foot on the 0.
Okay.
Yeah. So perfect 7-footer. Not a bad alligator.
No.
We had seen some of these before, but this time we're like, okay, let's take this one.
At least we got one in the can.
We got one in the can. We got three more
tags
to go.
left. Hopefully this weekend you'll catch something with what was his name?
Dean.
Dean.
So we're gonna nail one
That'd
with
be great.
Dean. I'm pretty confident we will. And just that'll be one of mine down and one of yours down.
Yep.
And then we got 2 more to go, and I think we'll tag out no problem.
Well, the weather's getting nice, so
yeah,
I mean, like it's getting less rainy. We're getting the falls
in
the air.
We
get a little more stable weather, so hopefully we can spend some time out.
And that's the key.
Gator hunting for sure.
Mike?
I got nothing more to say. We're running up time like it's going out of style.
Our vacation is over. Oh, Mike, we got just real quick. December 5th. Lock this in. December 5th.
Thank you.
Is the Rodney Rogers Outdoors Camping. We're going to be on Moccasin Island.
I think you just made it official.
We're going to nail it. We're all available. So December 5th, put that on your schedule. We're going to camp.
Details
we're
to
build
follow.
A fire.
Yeah.
We're going to kumbaya. Bring your guitar. Kayaks. If you're a kayak, it's a beautiful kayak paddle to the island. We got some activities planned. It's going to be a real blast. Nothing that you have to be a part of.
No,
it's just something we want to do. So
yeah, we're definitely, the one thing for sure, we're going to have a campfire and some food.
Yep, definitely, always do. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to put some details up.
I just sold it, didn't I?
Yeah, you sold it. There's going to be a campfire and food. That's it. Sold. I'm in. Boy, we're excited. We're excited.
I'm a propaganda mogul.
Mike, you got anything else?
No, sir.
Outdoors.com. Check it out. And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get outside and stay.